Coming out of the closet. Welcome again to Story Time in the Garden of Eden with Pastor Deborah. Everybody come and sit down. Gather around. Yes, little one, you have a question? Yes, Pastor Deborah. Are the creatures of the garden coming to sit with us too? Yes. Look behind you. Here they come. Can you see them? Is that Wilbur? The white chicken from the T&W flea market booth? Yes, it is. And is that Miss Goose? Yes. Like the Aflac duck guy? Yes. They pattern him after the garden's ducks. How can that be? The Creator speaks to those who carry His gift of art, and He has taught them and shown them through dreams of the night what the living creatures of the Garden of Eden are like. Wow! Ducks that have attitude. Pretty neat. I like ducks with attitudes. Thank you, little one. And all the ducks of the garden love you for loving them. Is that the turkey from the TV? Yes. Once again, the TV turkey is only a small copy of the garden's turkeys. The garden's turkeys talk, walk, and are loved. Pastor Deborah, are we in Narnia? Sort of, little one. Narnia was a reflection, image, likeness of the Garden of Eden in many ways. Is there a white witch here in Eden, like in the stories and movies of Narnia? No, little one. There is no white witch like the one in Narnia, and none of her demon animals and creatures that serve her in the Garden of Eden. There is a white witch, though, like the one in the books and movies of Narnia. But this white witch and her demonic servants, evil creatures of darkness, live out in the unseen realm of the earth, out in the kingdom of darkness. But they cannot come past the flaming sword, the cherubim of fire, and the light of agape love that stands guard 24/7 at the gate into the garden of agape love. Any more questions before the story begins? Okay, let's begin. Coming out of the closet. This story is about how one brought himself out from a secret place, a place hidden within himself, a personal closet that had become a storage place for all things of himself. Remember the one who discovered that one is a lonely number? Well, this one was keeping all that he was, all his essence, his nature, his gifts, his great blessings, his agape love, his character, his words of deliverance and healing, his words of light that would and could bring forth life, hidden in the closet of himself, in the closet of his heart, in the closet of his thoughts. He had locked himself in a closet of himself. Nothing knew of him, for there was nothing but him. Then he knew it was time to come out of the closet of himself. He realized he had so much to offer and to give, but he could not do that while in the closet. While in the closet of himself, only he knew all that he was, all that he had to give, all that he had been creating in his own imaginations for such a long time. Yes, only the One knew himself, and one was a lonely number. This one who had discovered that one is a lonely number had eternal desires in his heart, a divine destiny for himself, fruit of his agape love to share. And yet, while in the closet of himself, he could not share, not give, not plant and nurture, not be known, not fulfill his own destiny he had purposed for himself. He realized that as long as he stayed hidden in the closet of himself, hidden in the many compartments of his heart he had been living in within himself, by himself, and just for himself, he would never be fully satisfied, become fully all he could be to others, fully be what his nature dictated he was to become and desired to become. Being one in the closet of himself would never allow him to give, show, reveal all of himself to anything or any others. For one was a lonely, lonely number. He knew he had been living in a closet of his memories, his hopes, his fears of rejection, and yet he would have to reach into his knowledge, wisdom, strength, step out into faith, and always be looking to the future, knowing that much would happen to cause him to call upon his great agape love and all of its fullness to walk the long road to all he desired for himself. A life out of the lonely closet of himself. So the time had come for him to come out of the closet. But before he opened the door of his closet of his heart, he remembered his training. No retreat, no surrender. That is Spartan law. That is what the next story time with Pastor Deborah will be about. Come and learn about his philosophy. No retreat, no surrender. The Spartan law. So the one opened the door and stepped out into nothingness and breathed out his words of spirit and life, releasing, giving birth to life from his light. He took one step out of the closet, then he took another step. Little by little, out he was coming of his closet, out into nothingness. Out he came, out came light, out came life. Out he came, out from the deep recesses of his ancient thoughts. He spoke into nothingness, and out came light, and creation came forth. Life was coming. The one was coming out of the closet of himself. Creation came by the power of his spoken words and the power of his spirit. Life and creation came forth into the vastness of nothingness. The one was giving birth, releasing his stored up images of life that had been developing for such a long time. Life forming in the deep hidden caverns of his heart. The womb of life delivering its creation into the vastness of nothingness. The One was beginning to reveal Himself, His nature, His glory, His essence, His image and likeness, out of Himself, out into the darkness. The One was giving birth to all life, to all of creation. His own light He had hidden within Himself in the closet, was coming out, being seen, revealed. He had hidden His light and life deep inside of Himself. Now the One was beginning to become the source of life, the Father of creation. Now the One would not be just one anymore, for He had been just one for too long, and one was a lonely number. As He was slowly and carefully coming out of the closet, He looked back into the closet and saw a dark, lonely space into the where only He had lived, a place where He had been self-contained, unknown, unseen, unreleased, a self-imposed singleness, a world of just Himself, such a lonely place to live, to be existing in. So He came out of the closet. He spoke His words of agape love to all of creation, including you who may be hearing of this story with Pastor Deborah in the Garden of Eden. So come out of the closet of yourself. Step out as He did, slowly, little by little, but coming out. Come out, come out. Let us meet you. Come out, and fulfill your divine destiny, your purposes. Come out of the closet of yourself. He who also came out of His own closet of Himself. And Pastor Deborah will be there to meet you, and so will all of creation, all of the Garden of Eden, all of the kingdom of heaven. Come out, come out. Step out into the light, for He who also lived in the closet will help you. You can step into His hands, and He will hold you up with His strength that He used to do His own coming out. Step out of the closet. See His light? Step onto the highway of His light. His agape love will light your candle of your heart to help you see as you walk where you have never walked before, out of the closet and into the darkness. All of creation is waiting to meet you. A banquet is prepared for your coming out party. A reception is ready. The music is playing. We will all dance and rejoice. The royal invitations are printed. The dinner menu is planned. The decorations are prepared. We all await the announcement of your coming out of the closet. Join with the one who discovered that one is a lonely number, and a life lived in the closet is a life lived within oneself. And one's heart will never be satisfied or fulfilled while living in a closet with only oneself. All of creation awaits the news, the announcement. Another one is coming out of the closet. Remember, one is a lonely number, and the closet is a lonely place of just one. Just you living within yourself. Until next time with Story Time in the Garden with Pastor Deborah. Love always and forever.